J-Ash already hitting us with the good looks have funds. I agree, Demo. J-Ash was a standout player last week.
Yep.
Someone for anybody watching at home to keep a keen eye on. You'll see him on the team of Renji. Some great plays. I had a look at the stats as well, and it was the case that Zeosh had the slightly better statistics, but I just remember some of the J-Ash plays being so huge and so, game-changing. The stats tell one story, but when the pressure's on and it's around that you've got to win, that's when it really, really starts to count. And I do remember J-Ash hitting a few of those last week, so we'll have to see what he's got in his locker this week in week number 2. Capital ban, Demo. There's a bit of a book of the trend.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a very specialized ban to go for. There was a little bit of Capital last week that was being played, and that was by Sleepy, if I'm not mistaken. So it is strange to see them ban it out whenever they played it. So I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't. Pretty B-Tech though, I think, overall. One thing I do kind of like with the Capital ban though is that it does open up the ability to play in tier 3 and top tower, because you don't have to worry about getting Capital bolted, which is still, in my opinion, top 3 tier tower is, I think, a very undervalued area of the map. I still think that it has a lot of value in every bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, just in that you're forcing a attacking clear of a difficult area. It's not one of the easier areas in the game as a whole to try and clear out. It usually comes at some sort of cost, whether that's utility or hit points or even one of the players. So I think you're right, Dan. I think there's a lot of value in that place. It's just a time sink again, and if you can afford to commit a player to that area, then you can do quite well. If that's Sleepy's plan, then I guess we've got a few rounds to wait as to see whether they're going to actually pull that one off or not. But I do remember a lot of Ying play as well last week, Demo. They weren't, these teams weren't afraid to get the Ying out there and really sort of cause that disruption. Obviously, Capital doesn't do exactly the same thing as a Ying, but I kind of put him in the same bracket as it were.
Where do we head first? It doesn't really matter too much in terms of which bomb site you want to head to first of all. I mean, both are completely viable. I mean, even if you want to go for like a dining to kick things off is also a very good strategy and a good mindset to get yourself into. So Mira being banned out, and straight away we are seeing the roaming Mira. We are seeing that clash. On this bomb site specifically, she is a monster. I think of a team such as Cabana, who played this operator extremely well on this bomb site. Grizzly is not notorious clash player, and they get some really good value. He's able just to lock down blue. And I think that the really nice thing about Clash very early on is because you don't have, that risk factor, you have that shield, so you can, going for a walk outside, you lose nothing from it. And being able to gain early information to see if a team is going for a blue push is so strong in this current meta where you can rotate then utility. I think that she's just a really good operator for this bomb site, just for the information gathering.
Yeah, I'd agree, Demo. I think we saw a lot of Clash last week as well, and it played into that information gain. And the bomb says, laundry bomb site on this is so important because all you really need to know is where the push is coming from. Is it coming from freezer? Is it coming from rear? Is it occasionally coming from laundry? And then you can just deploy that Clash exactly where it's needed, as opposed to having to replace utility.
Maverick in the hatch, obviously because Kide is on the board, it can still be a bit of a menace. See the claw goes down, but Maverick isn't worried. Something you like, Ollie, is seeing the Maverick just lose an ungodly amount of health. Things you love to see. Surely not. Surely you don't go for the rip. He goes for it.
He's gone for the toss.
That was... I mean, there's hope, and then there's that.
Yeah. That's, it's not the best use of a C4, let's be honest. I mean, there's a chance that you're able to get the kill there, but it did seem as though Maverick was a little bit too quick on his feet to even take too much significant damage, only really losing 20 or so health there. It isn't going to be a big thorn in the side of Sleepy as they set themselves up for this execute. Quite a slow start to the round. We did see Sleepy being a little bit more aggressive previously against Pandor, but again, that plays into the big question that we're asking is, was Sleepy on fire, or were Pandor a little bit lackluster last week? And Renji are certainly giving them a pretty good going in this first opening round. Still yet to see blood drawn from either side. The push is now going to start to be focused in through the freezer. These are going to start to lead the way through Laundry as well, and really making the players on Renji think and wonder. Only a matter of time, really, until someone's going to get caught out in a crossfire here.
There's the first kill. It will be in favor of Renji, though, and that's a big kill down in towards Freezer. Just slows down the attack even more so. Now Melo's going to have to come around and see what's happening. Oh, I like this, though, from Sophia. Looking for another option from behind and does start putting some damage in through the wall and does down the smoke. Traco, he's still lurking on that pillar, and he's ready for the peek, and he goes for it, and that's a well-timed execution from the Jaeger. Melo now, he's eyeing up the push, and he runs straight into the bomb site, finds one. Smoke, however, gets Toxic Babe out, and Easy follows up with another kill. Clash stuck in the corner. Melo goes for it. Can he land it? No, he's out of ammo. He pulls out the pistol, finally kills the Clash, but time's been wasted. Zeosh now, he picks up the remainder. He finds final two. Renji, an explosive first round, but they hold on.
Renji really holding on by the skin of their teeth. The Clash, despite dying, did enough in terms of wasting time and ammunition from the players of Sleepy Gang for them to be able to bring it home safely. A Clash in those dying few seconds, it isn't anything that anybody wants to deal with. It usually only ends one way, and that way is the way of the defenders. Renji proved that point, winning the first round of this series tonight. Of course, we are in a best-of-3 situation, so there's a lot of Siege yet to be played. But Demo, I've got a comment to make. I feel like Sleepy looks a bit scrappy there.
So one thing that really let them down, I think, was just the lack of information. I mean, not being able to drone out Freezer, not knowing that, you know, Shenji is just sitting behind, like, the B-Tech box. Pretty surprising. I mean, for those kind of executes, you know, we've talked about this before, Ollie. On that basement, you can attack from blue, which is a very, very tough thing to do, as we know with the utility burn meta, where you have to go for the ADSs and the shields that may be brought. Or you can go for the Freezer side, which is, you know, it's a lot easier. You've seen how easy it was to take control of Freezer and Laundry. Very little, you know, things you can do as a defender to stop them from opening hatches, which is like that big area. Why you push that is because you have hatch control that you can utilize. But the execution, though, of getting into that Laundry is very, very tough. And one thing that you need to have is, honestly, everybody alive. Losing that first blood on a Laundry attack is massive, because that's one less guy to hold a crossfire as you go in for the plant.
Yeah, it really does just become about a game of crossfires, and that's all it really comes down to, is regardless of which team gets that opening kill, you're then a man down inside of the crossfires, and you can see it hurting so terribly. You've got to shoot your way in, almost, if you're going for the Laundry and the Freezer attack, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility. You can do it. You can get nades in as well. Nades, again, something that we saw a heck of a lot of last week, and I look at the side of Sleepy Gang tonight, and they're not bringing a single nade. They've gone for the Wamai ban. Sure, that's going to
they have one set. They have the Maverick there. Oh, never mind.
I mean, the Maverick didn't have nades.
Yeah, he did.
Just say before he died.
He did have nades.
I'm sure he didn't have nades. Regardless, he's dead now anyway. He's dead now anyway, so they ain't got no nades.
Caster's curse there, so apologies to EIZ. That's my fault for bringing you up into the debate. DJs, look at this. This is very early aggression from a hard breacher. Keep in mind, Ollie. Not the greatest idea to send your Habana walking into the unknown clutches whenever you've just lost your other hard breach. Oh, never mind. You also have an ace. They have the triple setup. Overkill, you may call this. Where's the Thermite? Where is he?
I mean, they've got no real excuses. We saw Easy doing great stuff last week on the Ace.
Yep.
AK-12, a great weapon inside of Siege, a really strong gun, and
oh, I like that Banshee.
No reason not to bring it.
Yeah, that Banshee is very strong, just on towards Zigzag, and I mean, very, very easy to kind of miss that out as well from a drone. Like, if you're droning that, you don't look left to the wall, so that could be very, very valuable for the defense. It just gives you that sound notification more than anything. Unfortunate, though, for Easy, is that the breaches kind of glitched out a little bit, and there is a bit of a reinforced bar still sticking out. Jay, he finds Deju's, and on the window, is where Aizen was, but has since then wrapped around and is now in towards Attic and is looking to aggress onto the Valkyrie above. And is Valk going to try and get a little bit frisky? Seems to be the case, but Ziosh is holding firm behind the bunk beds.
Ziosh is in a great spot here as well because he doesn't really need to do anything. He's wasting time well into the final minute now. Still got a C4 in hand if he does want to get the kill, and he's being supported by Toro as well. This is just such a time sink for Sleepy that they can't afford. Toro, they're going to come in with a kill, and these are the final nails that are starting to get banged into the coffin now for Sleepy, as Jash is going to pick up easy. Only a matter of time now for Eyes, and he's going to find one, but at this point it's likely to be an exit frag. He's already being flanked as well. The flank isn't even going to come to fruition. Toro is going to be able to finish him off as the Jaeger holding the crossfire.
A little bit all over the show for Sleepy. Very interesting that they are going for a meet and take. I always find that meet and takes are, in my opinion, the worst of the two you can go for. I've seen a lot more success from teams going from small tower side. I think it's easier to control than it is for meeting. One thing, if you want to try and go for meeting, is that you have to then take the entirety of kids. 9 times out of 10, the defenders will hold that side of the map, which we've seen. We've seen 2 defenders upstairs in kids having the time of their lives picking up all of these kills. And if you don't take above, then you can't really plant in kitchen because of all the vertical games that the defenders can play from above. If they have holes in the floor, you can't do anything to stop them unless you take above. And as we've seen, Sleepy Gang not taking above very well. You know, they had some real struggles with getting the information. I think losing their Maverick early on really hindered them. We've seen there Ollie the Ace, little bit glitchy at times. The ace charge sometimes does hinder you, as obviously it has that kind of line across which you don't want to have. So yeah, just there's some areas of effect that Sleepy Gang could have fixed up. I just think small tower is your go-to. I just think for a map like Oregon, just play it simple. It works. Play it basic.
I agree with you, Demo. I think the difficulty that you come under when you start thinking about meeting is you have to do Attic, as you say. You have to then do kids. Kids can be defended from the same level or from below very easily. You know, a couple of shotgun holes, it's all it really takes. And all of a sudden you've got a load more information coming through, and you're just spreading yourselves very thin as the attackers. But different round, different objective, and so far a clean sweep for Renji. They're doing very well at tidying Sleepy Gang up here, but it is the defense.
Yep.
So they've got all the advantages that they need. Diju hasn't wasted much time in this round. He's got himself straight to the top of Armory stairs, having gone through Armory. Again, as the Hibana, it's not questionable really.
It's a bit scary.
It's scary, but it isn't too questionable. You know, we've got the Maverick and we've got the Ace, so there's a lot of potential for hard breach. But at what point do you start asking the question, when do we need something else to be brought? When do we really need that, you know, extra operator, the IQ? We've seen a lot of Valkyrie brought so far. Like, there's got to be something else that you can work your way in. Sure, you can take the Havana and not use the utility, but what are you missing by doing that? Someone that isn't missing is Mello. He's found an opener onto Ziosh.
Good start.
Is it going to be enough this round?
I mean, that is different now. We see the opening kill fall for the attackers this time around. So it does put the defense still at a slight disadvantage. Yeah, IQ for me, Ollie, is definitely the missing piece of the jigsaw for me. I think bringing that IQ not only opens up to the possibilities of getting information from below, which is very, very strong in this current meta, where you can try and eliminate those ADSs through the flooring, which we've seen utilized by many, many teams before. But also just the Valkyrie counter, I think, is more than anything. Getting rid of that Velk for a map like Oregon, where information is key whenever you can C4 from below. Yeah, that's probably an operator you want to eliminate very early on and lose that C4 potential from the Valk. Right now, I'm liking the kind of setup that they're going for. They've opened up in towards Attic and have taken it extremely well. They've opened up the main breach, and yeah, now it's just a matter of time to see how well they want to perform their execute. But a team like Sleep, who have struggled with those executions in the past, Ollie, they have to make it count.
Mello is really trying to do bits from that double window as he picks up his second kill onto JH. The defenders now feeling that pin feeling the need to make that rotation or that last second adjustment, and it really is going to start costing them. DJU going to vault his way on through, get into a bit of a fracas at the top of these white stairs. Shots are exchanged both sides, but no one can land the killer blow. Meanwhile, kills are flying. 3-2 now in favor of these attackers. 20 seconds left remaining, and the diffuser will now start to go down. Effectively now, this is a 3 versus 1, as Toro is, of course, down. Notorious rushing out to try and make something happen, but DJU finishing him off. They'll bear a 9 coming in clutch there on the Hibana. We questioned a little bit the Hibana pick. I'm not sure if we saw any X-Kairos deployed in that round particularly, but DJU making the guns do the business nonetheless.
Much, much better from Sleepy. That's what they need to do, Ollie. Play it simple, play it basic. That is your most default strategy you can go for that bomb site. Take attic, take bedroom, walk in and plant. You have a late rotate, somebody in double window, golden. That's it. You're sorted. And that's what they did. They did it step by step to the T. Perfect. I'm very, very happy that Sleepy Gang have really woken up now. Pardon the pun. Did I try and make a pun? I don't know if I did, but it kind of does work. I think their name is very easy to fall into a lot of puns. But if we look at last week on Oregon, whenever they played against Pandora, we had some maniac attacks on this top floor, Ollie. We seen teams try and plant just through double window. That's it. That's all they tried to take was double window and jumped in, and it was a slaughter.
Yeah, there was some strange siege played last week. It was week 1, so of course we were we were testing the waters. We were seeing what these two teams, well, the 4 teams that we saw in week 1 had to offer. But there were some questionable players. I think this is going a little bit more as to be expected. You know, we were expecting this to be a good game. It's Sleepy Gang and Renji. They both had fantastic games in week number 1, so no reason why these two teams would have dropped off in the space of a week, and neither of them have failed to deliver so far. I think we've seen a much better round there out of Sleepy, and if they can chain it together now and they can pick up this next round here, all of a sudden 2-2, it doesn't look too bad. You know, you've got the opportunity there of a 3-3 split, even a 4-2 split if you really pull your finger out. It doesn't look horrendous from that point out. But I think picking up the next round here for Sleepy is really crucial, because they really did struggle attacking onto that laundry and attacking downstairs onto that kitchen.
So we go for upstairs once again, and this is a much better start for the defense, an early kill, and that's what we worried about, Ollie, is DJU's entering in on the Hibana, and he's gone. That's a piece of hard breach, which is now off the table. I think Hibana would have been great for potentially opening up the angle into attic from bedroom. This one right beside Mellow. You open that up, gives your attic guys much more of an easier chance to take it without any more casualties, and now they're missing that piece off equipment. Still though, they have plenty of hard breach in the back pocket. That Ace and Maverick combo still on the board for them, and Ace went straight for the wall and has taken it out. No denial for the wall as well. One thing which, I mean, for Oregon, for top floor, bringing like a bandit on mute, it doesn't hinder you, and it more hinders the attackers more than anything, because they then have to go below, and that in itself is a scary prospect.
Nade, they're going to swing and miss as he's going to manage to take out the Goyo shield and get a little bit more cleaner access for the players on Sleepy. Smoke toss comes through as Mello swings his way round, but not a lot of information as no one was actually playing in that location. Instead, he's going to retreat himself back and bait out a C4 there from below. Ziosh just getting caught a little bit short. There could be a nice pinch being able to be set up here on the top of those white stairs, as these defenders are going to have to make that rotation back. Mello picks up yet another kill. Very consistent on the Ash in this last couple of rounds. He's really starting to make a bit of a difference and stand up for his team. As we enter this final minute, a bit more drone work going to go out as Notorious looks pretty aggravated, I think it's fair to say, inside of bunk beds. He's not really got any options. He doesn't really have anywhere specific to go. Easy going to swing his way on through and maybe try and pick up this kill, and well, he picks it up with relative ease. The C4 going to swing and miss, and the diffuser will now start to be planted. Ziosh, he's got to rotate up and rejoin Toro on those white stairs, sorry, as the shots to the floor, they're not going to do the business. Now it's a full retake situation, and this isn't looking great 4 versus 2.
Yeah, this retake is a very tough one to do. Post-plant, both of you guys split up as well. One on the armory stairs, one on the white stairs, and Ziyoshi's going to walk into the clutches of the man lurking inside of Trophy, which do have a bit of a battle and wins it against Mello. That's surprising, but I mean, still 3 more to go with 15 seconds to do it all. I don't think that's going to work out for him, and it does not. Sleepy, another top 4 attack working out in their favor. Granted now, though, for the defense, they don't have to go here again. They can now go somewhere else if they want to. They can go for any of the bomb sites that they have previously won.
And I'm sure they're going to waste no time in going downstairs to
There it
laundry
is.
and supply. First sight we saw of this map, and I think a site that Renji feel a bit more comfortable on, it's fair to say. We can already see the Clash pick coming through. Really interesting that the Clash is being played, especially with the Capital being banned and the ban coming out from Sleepy. The Clash that are going to get 6th picked out of into a smoke, that's very interesting, you know, Demo, because I really attribute round number 1 going to the defenders solely off the back of that Clash.
Yeah, Clash, again, a very interesting operator in the meta. I mean, since she was released, which was, like, what, over 2 years ago? That's a...
Grimsky?
Yeah, like, that doesn't seem
no, it can't
too
be over
distant.
2 years ago.
I'm pretty sure, because it was Paris Major time, and that was August 2018. Now we're in November 2020.
Huh.
Time when we could, you know, have LAN events.
Have fun.
Honestly, couldn't have put it better myself. Have fun.
I'm having fun, Demo.
I mean, granted, I don't leave the house anyway, so, you know, my fun is here in my own comfort. I am that SpongeBob episode. That is me.
All I thought of was the South Park episode.
Well, clearly we had different childhoods if you were watching South Park and I was watching SpongeBob.
I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, Demo.
Obviously, boomer age for yourself.
What is Sleepy Gang going to have to do differently in this round? That's the big question, because for all intents and purposes, they played round number 1.
They're going
relatively
laundry,
okay. But
I can see that.
I feel like we need a different push. I don't feel like we go for the laundry push.
I agree. Yeah, I think blue is your go-to. I mean, granted, if they know that there's a lot of utility, it does make sense. But I mean, as soon as the defenders catch whiff that you are heading for a laundry take, Jaeger can pick his ADSs up and replace them in a matter of seconds. Even the same with Goyo. It doesn't take a lot of time to redeploy your gadgets. Ziosh, this is a very bold maneuver. Very rare we see roam games happen in Oregon whenever it is a basement. Usually Anchor It Up is the go-to, but still manages to pull off a kill before getting trade off himself. And I mean, Ollie, that's Ash. That is a lot of utility. That is 5 potential ADS that could have been burned right there.
Honestly, at this point, you'd have lost a hard breacher, because the Ash has got so much utility to get rid of those ADSs and to destroy the shields. You would genuinely rather lose the Hibana or the Ace at this point, because let's be honest, what are they really going to be able to get open here? There's a Cade in play, so it's going to force Maverick to open at least 2 hatches. We can see he's already opened 1
rapping?
inside of Meeting.
They're rapping. They're going blue instead. I mean, look, you can see pocket ADSs. They were expecting the laundry. They picked up their utility. They bamboozled them, Ollie. They've just went for the whole hit or miss. They have, I don't know, who's that magician that's like really famous that like did that water challenge? I forget his name. That guy. They've David blamed them.
It was a nice nade from EIZ there to be able to root J Ash out, because obviously the smoke, we're getting into the final minute. This is Smoke's time to shine. Well, there's not really much shining from the grave. C4 toss, beautifully captured there by Medics. Even had a little twist in for us as well. Is going to land, and that's going to take EIZ out. Eisen, however, finds one in the flurry. 3 versus 2. We've been here before with only a few seconds left on the clock. Time now for Sleepy Gang to regain their composure, start thinking about that diffuser going down, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Easy going to get it down in the cover of the smoke. Notorious is downed, all down to Shenji. He goes for the swing, but he's got far too many angles to peek onto. Can't even find the first. Diju once again the final 2 kills, and Sleepy Gang really starting to chain the rounds together now.
That was so well done. Right, here's the thing. I don't know if it was intentional that they tried to bait them in thinking it was a laundry. As we've seen from the Jaeger, picked up the ADSs from blue, tried to then place them back down, and got himself killed because of it. they've done so well to do that. Yeah, that was just such a round.
I think Sleepy probably made a good split-second decision after losing the Ash.
Yeah, that probably the Ash was like, okay, there's no way we can take Laundry now. We may as well try and catch them on the fly and hit the blue.
And it worked.
We're so really impressed. Honestly, so impressed.
There's a chance now for Sleepy to get a 4-2 split here, which would be huge.
They have swung momentum massively in their favor because knowing Renji, they're probably thinking, oh, why'd you pick up your ADSs? Oh, where were the ADSs, Jaeger? Probably a little bit of a dispute there. Definitely. And you know, stuff like that. Little tiny stuff like that, little nitpicking in games, which does happen from teams, happens in pro teams, happens everywhere, as we know. That can start a series of unfortunate events for teams. And I hope it doesn't happen for Renji. I hope they have that mental game to say, don't worry about it, we can still pull this back and get an even split.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Renji now desperately trying to secure a 3-3 split at the end of what started off to be a very promising defensive phase for them. And now they're left in quite a lot of uncertainty because I believe if they go 4-2, it's going to be difficult for them to start securing this as a map. There's just too many options for Sleepy Gang to pick up a couple of rounds on the defense and get themselves onto that match point. So this is a really important round here for Renji. We can't really understate that too much. Zeosh once again going to be playing off-site, this time upstairs in Attic. I think that if Sleepy get a read onto this, they're not going to be afraid of just getting straight on into site and really starting to try and put some pressure and take some gunfights, because if somebody's playing off-site, especially a Malusi, there's a very good chance that you're going to be able to get a quick early advantage. It looks as though someone could be in big tower as well.
Well, I kind of like the setup from the defense. I like the fact that they have some roamers putting pressure. As we've seen, if it wasn't for that electrical hatch being open from the last round, Sleepy Gang would not have had a good foothold in winning that round. So that electrical hatch is their big key that they're trying to unlock. And I think overall, for the way Renji have set up, they're here to hinder. This is what I like about, you know, a Malusi, is that you can place down the utility in sight, which is obviously going to cause issues, as we know. It's something that the defenders, you know, have in their advantage, is that you can place the gadget down, attackers have to burn through, and you can just go away. You don't even have to sit near it. It's not like attackers where you still have some utility in the back pocket. You need to be wary of that, where if you lose that utility, it's going to really hinder your team. For Malusi, doesn't have to worry about that whatsoever, and, you know, Zeosh can just play this roam game already. As you can see, they know he's up there, but they are so cautious to really do anything, and it's eating up more time for them, Ollie.
Yeah, only at the minute 15 mark is Mello now going to start to open up that attic. It wasn't even reinforced to begin with, and Zeosh has a quite nice advantage here with the bullet hole. Notorious is going to fall, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as Zeosh makes that attic roam work. And now there's a lot of confusion and a lot of uncertainty on the side of these attackers in what do they do. What a kill there coming in from Diju, but it's followed by 2 rapid kills from Senji, really thrusting his team back into the advantage here as we enter the final 45 seconds or so. It just took far too long to clear out that top floor roamer in Zeosh, and it really has started to cost Sleepy. Now the Toxic Babe canisters can start to be deployed, and it really is going to constrict and cut off the lines of sight and attack that these remaining 2 attackers can go with.
Both of them separated quite a bit. Dju's goes down the tower stairs, does destroy one of the Banshees, and EIZ, he knows he has a shield to go against. He's not going to win that engagement, decides to walk over in towards Electrical, cooks an aid, throws over the top, but from behind, Jash now firing some shots in, but EIZ has no idea where to look. And Toro and EIZ actually trade, but still Renji, they pull it back and they take an even split on the defense.
So much needed round there for Renji. It's a nice momentum swing at the turn of the half as well. They've not won a round for a good couple there, so be able to pull the last one out of their phase is going to stick them in a good stead for their attacks. And just again, a little bit lackluster from the side of Sleepy Gang. They obviously had a plan, but they weren't very quick at adapting. And again, a bit of a lack of information. It's something that we've been kind of harping on about throughout this entire series so far. Quite a different operator lineup coming out here in that we have got a Blackbeard potentially demo.
So we've seen Blackbeard be played whenever I think it was Sleepy and Pandor. They played that operator on Oregon. Didn't really see a lot of Blackbeard, I don't think at all, from Renji on any of their maps they played. So it is a bit of a surprising pick to see Renji go for it straight away. We've had this kind of debate about Blackbeard. We had this last week, Ollie. Strong operator, but only for one person.
Yeah, it's selfish operator. Which isn't a bad thing. And, you know, it's not to say that you're a selfish player if you play the Blackbeard, but you're not providing your team with all too much. Sure, you've got the stun grenades, but, you know, you've got plenty of operators out there that have got the stun grenades that you can bring and give something to the team as well. My thought process behind this, honestly, is... Did Renji think that they were going to be attacking onto a top floor objective first, and they've brought the Blackbeard for, because the big window is where you think of Blackbeard, don't you? Think big window, Blackbeard, hold that crossfire, hold that line of sight. Attacking downstairs onto laundry, where are you really going to find the value in that shield?
With kills, I suppose, is like the trade-off that you would get. Anybody. But to be fair, the thing about Blackbeard, right, is that it gives you an ungodly amount of confidence. If you play Blackbeard, you know, if you're playing Blackbeard, you're owning playing Blackbeard, yeah? Everyone knows that he is a scummy operator. Like, let's not beat around the bush. If you come against the Blackbeard in ranked, you're thinking, who is this guy? I want to know everything about this guy. And it just gives you that confidence. You know that you have a shield. You know that you cannot die to a headshot if you get in an engagement. It just gives you this, I don't know. It's really weird to describe it, but yeah, it just gives you that ungodly amount of confidence that you just don't need, but you're going to use it anyway.
I remember one of the first clips I saw of Seed was Nade Shot playing Blackbeard. About 3 or 4 years ago.
Of course.
And it just... yeah. Blackbeard was genuinely one of the first operators that I ever saw in Siege. And I was like, what's this game?
Crazy.
How wrong I was.
Look at this. Another blue take. Electrical hatch is being opened once again. One thing about electrical hatch that you may look at it and think, well, what does that really give you? Nobody really plays inside of that electrical room anyway. It's not like you know, like a game-breaking hatch where it opens up into a bomb site like many of like older maps used to be like. But it gives you the potential of rolling nades, I think, more than anything, onto pillar, is why you want that hatch open. If you can roll a nade and it can land right onto the defender as he's getting pressured by guys in tower stairs, as we start to see the nades roll in, then yeah, that's going to be massive. However, Mellow goes unnoticed. He did not get thrown down. That's a quick peek, and Zeosh is off the board.
Zeosh gets punished dearly there as Notorious is now desperately trying to make something happen from Blue, but not enough pressure really coming in from Blue there, especially when you're playing on that Blackbeard. I do think you need to be playing with a little bit more confidence, a little bit more backup. A bit of a turn there from Senji is easy. He's going to get taken out. A nice pre-fire as he swings around the corner. Now a little bit more pressure coming in from the hatches. We're going to see one of the walls get open. That's just going to give a little bit more line of sight and maybe an option to get another nade down if we've got any left remaining, which unfortunately for Zeosh, he is all out. Toro now looking to try and make his push through the laundry, but Senji is on a bit of a tear. He's found himself a double kill on the round and looks to be playing with quite a lot of confidence. Still got Notorious yet to push in, but the push does come and the kill is secured. More kills now flooding in as the diffuser will start to get planted. It isn't even going to be required as the collapse comes through. It is all RENJICHIMU.
Toro slithering his way and gives him a lot of openings there. Renji, even though they did lose that first engagement down to not drawing out the Jaeger, I mean, still pulling it back. Ollie, Blackbeard, he was there. He was putting in some good work.
What was he putting in though, Demo? Genuinely now.
Pressure.
Playing outside of blue door for the entirety of the round.
He puts on pressure, yeah? The thing about Blackbeard, yes, like you said, selfish operator, only values himself. But if you know that there's a Blackbeard on this position, you know, just because of how many times someone has said it to you in your life, don't pick Blackbeard. That is cemented in your memory. Yeah, that is like a PTSD factor from 850 HP Blackbeard. You don't pick him. And that is what he does. He makes the pressure.
Attackers need to locate.
Just a constant heartbeat that's going doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. That is just slowly getting closer and closer and closer, and you can't do anything about it because it's a Blackbeard.
Sleepy are going to have to do something about it because they can't afford to keep losing rounds. Choosing to go back downstairs again, I think, is an interesting one when they've got all of the map available to them. But there's obviously something they feel as though they can do a little bit differently. I'm sure it's going to centre around meeting and that area because that's really where they lost a lot of ground, I think, Demo. Maybe ought to look at taking a leaf out of the RENJICHIMU playbook and playing somebody upstairs inside of the attic or off-site inside a classroom and just really playing for a cheap kill onto meeting, because as soon as meeting control was lost and the hatch started to get open, as you said, the slew of nades that starts to roll down, it just makes it very difficult for anybody to play effectively inside of pillars.
Both lineups fairly similar to one another. Only difference is obviously that Blackbeard is there instead of Ace. But in terms of defense, that's pretty much the lineup that we have seen played quite a lot by Renji on their defense. Easy, taking a little bit of damage by... Oh, look! Look who it is! My friend, your enemy. Blackbeard. There he is. Hello.
And this is a good difference as well. I like the point that you make there, Demo, in that the only difference in the lineups is the lack of an ace on the side of Renji. They're able to bring the Blackbeard, who, as we've said, doesn't bring the most utility to the table, but look at the impact that it still has on the round, whereas Sleepy were very stuck in the ways with their operator selection, always favouring those 3 available hard breaches and just not really making the most out of those 5 picks.
Have you ever noticed that kitchen is just a giant chessboard? Or is it just me?
It looks like a bathroom as well.
Oh, EIZ is getting very frisky. Trying to go for a sneaky punch roll, but that gives himself away to a very easy trap. Toro, who is that lone wolf on the side of Renji, he picks up that kill. Yeah, EIZ going for the roam game, fair enough. But, I mean, giving yourself away that early on, it makes your whole roam game redundant. Because the defenders, they gain nothing from that roam game, and the attackers, they lose absolutely nothing, apart from some bullets.
Yeah, it's a little bit careless stuff really there from Sleepy. Look how much more quicker we're seeing Renji move this time. They've got the hatch open, and they're getting the top of the wall open as well, so they can start rolling the nades in. They've still got a minute left on the clock, and they're not even directly pressuring the bomb site, as it were, but you can see the defenders are already getting very jittery, maybe not working off too much information, obviously pending on where those Valkyrie cams have been placed and where we've got Malusi's, but even then there's some nice drones set up here. Zeoff, she's got a great line of sight there onto pillars and is going to be able to call out. Okay, it isn't going to help Zayash in that instance, but the thought and the process was certainly there.
Jay just tries to rush in towards Pillar without even droning out the Jaeger. Again, Mello, he was in this exact same position last time, and he's still going on a tear. Mello, the triple kill for him as well, peeks up past the shield, and a quad for Mello.
Blackbeard or no Blackbeard, Mello is on a bit of a tear tonight. We already seen him hitting his shots earlier on the Ash, and he's continued to do so here on the Jaeger, looking to put Sleepy Gang on his back, as it were. Quad killing that round in a very short amount of time, as quite a lazy collapse really came through from Renji. It seemed as though they were just throwing anything they could in those dying few seconds to try and make something stick, despite having a really good lead in the early part of the round. And this game continues as back and forth as it ever was at 4 rounds apiece.
11 kills for Mello right now. Definitely leading in terms of the kill department. Nobody really coming too close to him. And there's still plenty of rounds to go. He could really try and reach for some good stats here if he wants to. And he's definitely on board for it. And I think during this stage of the game, where it's, around like, the mid to late stage of it now, whenever somebody gets like a massive play, the energy that fills the team, it's invaluable at times, really.
Yeah, especially now that we can see Sleepy Gang, they've got the chance to move on to their different bomb site. They're going to take us to the top floor. It just gives them that fresh start once again. They've not defended up here yet. It's basically back down to 0-0. They can just look at picking up this round as it comes to them. And if Mello can keep leading the charge as he is, then they're going to have a fairly easy time of it. They could still do with a little bit more out of players like EIZ and potentially Eisen, but maybe, you know, locking in a little bit more of that support role, spending a bit more time on the cameras. It really is difficult to say, but Mello looking to put a big shift in tonight, and I'm sure that as the night progresses, he's going to start to get backed up as well by his teammates.
So more than likely, it will be a fairly standard attack. I think from Renji, it'll be attic into bedroom, have your Blackbird rotate over double window. Again, creates that pressure of knowing that, hey, there's a Blackbird in this double window, cuts off a lot of rotations. Mello's gone. Massive first blood to shut down that momentum early on after Mello kind of ripped them limb from limb last round. It is great from Toro, who, honestly, he's been just getting these kills here or there, Ollie, and they're very impactful kills at that.
Exactly, the kills that, you know, are impactful like that, taking out Mello. I don't know if Mello was getting a bit aggressive there. It was just a bit of a lucky pre-fire, but that's a huge kill, and all of a sudden all the momentum that we saw in the previous round, especially from Mello, is, you know, is that still there? Is it leaked into the rest of the roster? It's difficult to say. I think losing a first blood on a top floor objective isn't what you want to be dealing with, because there are so many angles to keep a check on. You can't afford to have one less pair of eyes, as it were, looking onto an all-important zone, and that now means that there's likely not going to be somebody playing as a bit more of a roam game. EIZ is going to find a bit of a bite back there over onto Notorious and get himself back down. I'm not sure if he actually ran out of double window or not to grab that kill, or if he did just aggressively push up that small tower, but there's a good chance that he could see a second here if he holds his nerve against Zayosh. I don't believe that the drone has traveled that far ahead, and, well, Zayosh going to get caught out there inside of the launcher animation, and EIZ, that is a freebie for you. Easy will be downed on in the site and finished off there from a nade from JAsh, so he is going to get responded to, but EIZ still got all the time in the world, can rotate up these white stairs and now rejoin a very default position and just look to keep an eye on things.
The triangle of death has been set up from the defenders. If you don't know what the triangle is, it's one in attic, one in kids, one on white stairs, and that is a very difficult thing for the attackers to really rip apart. All of them having crossfires established. EIZ had another one for him. Two more and he gets the ace. JAsh still outside. EIZ has been put away, but DJuice has the refrag though, and Shenji, he's gone. Now Jay, all by himself, 1v2, drops down from double window, goes down towards white. They'll hear that window being opened up now. You see both of them rotating over, waiting for him to come over, but Jay, no. Instead goes for Armory, it seems to be, but honestly at this stage, Ollie, anywhere he goes, they're going to know where he is. They can hear the sound, they can hear him running around, and DJuice has the angle, puts him in the bin.
Good cleanup there from Sleepy. I really like the way that we saw the roam game coming out there. EIZ, it was a nice little play that he was able to pull off a quick double kill on the roam and then gets himself back in onto the top of white stairs to impact onto the round further. That's exactly what Sleepy Gang needed, and they did manage to carry the momentum that Milo got them in round number 8. Sorry. One round away from match point now. I can feel it between these two teams, Demo. I think that there's going to be a bit of a common denominator here with Renji, and that's they're going to like to take us to every round that is available.
They've done it once, they can do it again. Finally, we see an operator change up. It's been a while. We see an ace now on the attacking side. So Maverick's gone. I mean, like, obviously, the thing about Maverick is that he works like Thatcher, essentially. You don't have to worry about bandits or Kais because you just straight up remove the wall. But I would say on this map, for both these teams, denial hasn't really been a thing. We've seen, like, Kai, maybe 2 rounds, I think. No mutes, no bandits. So, overall, you don't really need the Maverick. You know, if there's no denial being ran by the defenders, you know, religiously, then what's the point? And I think they've made a good selection. Ace makes opening a wall very, very easy. A lot easier than what a Maverick has to do. You have to put yourself at that risk of getting close to the wall, going for the blowtorch. Ace makes that heck of a lot easier. We do move over to our kitchen and our dining now.
10 seconds left.
How are the attackers going to set up? Hopefully they don't go meeting, because I just don't get why you would go meeting. Honestly, just small tower is the go-to in my opinion.
Attackers must locate and defuse the
I think
bomb.
that the switch over onto Ace is telling us something here, because There's still a lot of chance for impact tricking if you do try and push onto the small tower. Where these attackers have spawned in, it tells us there's a good chance that they're going to be going for this small tower take. But the impact tricking that's available is it's quite vast. You know, you've got a lot of options available to you. So it could be quite difficult to really pull that off. Toro, once again, tasty little opener there. Eisen is going to fall, and Ella's got no business near any window, not with the Scorpion in the way that it is at the moment. Sure enough, you've got the pistol drawn, but even then, going up against the might of the attackers' ARs isn't anything that anyone wants to deal with.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
EIZ is essentially stuck. He's trapped. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Now it's just a matter of time. And honestly, for Renji, they want to make sure they can do it in good time. You do not want to be wasting a lot of time for this bomb site specifically, where there is a hefty amount of setup and utility clearing in towards that showers area. Right now, like, very surprisingly, they're not actually looking to aggro onto the Melusi. They're just going to let her sit there and just have Blackbeard be the warden, essentially.
And Blackbeard can do that. He's just going to lock Melusi off, and it's especially smart from Renji because they do have a man advantage. That being said, that man advantage is now being whipped away from them as Easy's going to peek out over the deployable and take down Zeosh. Still, EIZ getting locked into this engagement with Notorious, and I don't really know who has the advantage anymore. Probably EIZ, because as a defender, he's just running the clock down. He doesn't really need to do anything. This attacker is just wasting time holding on to this angle. But I guess it's a case of who is going to get itchy feet first, as there is a lot going on side of the bomb site. Live ping's coming out now for Shenji as he's looking to find an angle onto showers. A lot of the walls have now been opened, and Melo seeming to get himself into a bit of an engagement there. It looks as though Notorious is going to make that play and find that kill. That's a huge, huge frag to get in the final 45 seconds or so. But Toro carelessly swings on into the showers. Will be traded back straight away there by Shenji, as Melo and Diju now have got a lot of work left to do. 30 seconds left remaining. Not a great deal of information, but a lot of angles to be held. The attackers now looking to push on in and maybe even get a plant down. Diju still playing upstairs, waiting for his time to strike. Melo's going to find one, leveling things out and not get traded instantly, which is very important. Diju comes in with the second. 2 versus 1 now. It's all on Shenji. He's only got 10 seconds left to do this. And I don't think that he's going to. He's got the diffuser in hand, but he could go for a plant. He's likely going to get found out. He quickly does try to stick it. These two defenders upstairs don't seem to be very wise to this fact. Melo going to go for the hatch drop. Is it going to be enough? They need to make sure they take this as a trade, and well, Diju is going to mean that it doesn't even need to be a trade. He's going to find the kill on Shenji. Melo, bit of teamwork there, going to get the diffuser off. Plenty of time left remaining. Sleepy now on match point. That was a hell of a clutch from those two guys.
Yeah, a little bit sketchy for a period. The diffuser going down in the ideal position for the attackers, but no, both of them very wisely, both going from 2 directions, one dropping the hatch, coming in through kitchen, one then going down white stairs, and essentially that creates a no-win situation for the Habana. She has to kill one, and then with ungodly human reaction time has to do a 180 spin and kill the other. So yeah, very smartly done by the defenders to make sure that is one out by them. And yes, like you said, match point now for them. 6-4 is where we stand. Renji have to pull back 2 rounds in a row to take us to that OT.
If there's a team that can, it is Renji. From what they've proved to us so far last week is that they've got a lot of fight left in them right up until that dying breath. However, Sleepy, they're a good team. They're a good team of players, and we've seen them play very well. I think they've made less mistakes this week, but the mistakes that they have made have been quite crucial and very unforgiving. Laundry Room and Supply is a good bomb site that Sleepy Gang are able to lean into here. It is an operator that we've not seen today so far, Demo, and someone that was basically a permanent fixture of week 1, and that is going to be the Iana.
Iana is she's like, I would say, like B tier operator in my opinion. I think compared to others, her gadget isn't like the most flashiest thing in the world. It's not like a game changer operator. It's not like, you know, like a hard breach. It's not on that kind of level. It's not It's not like the kind of operator that you think, oh my word, they have Niana, what are we going to do? It's not that kind of like
10
idea you
seconds
have
to
behind
insertion.
her.
Is that
The
like a B tier, as in like S is a thing, A is a thing, B is
Yeah.
a thing?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'd have put her at A tier operator. Honestly.
You think A?
Locate and
Yeah.
defuse the bomb.
She's got nades.
I mean, I look at her and I think, who would you like to play other? And I just think you get more value from like an IQ. I think you get more
look at
value
her
from
and
an
think,
ace.
Great weapon, information, and nades.
G36 is the playable weapon.
Ah,
It
it's
can
a
be
good weapon.
okay at times.
I think you know what I've learned about the weapons demo? I think it's more about who's using them. You
I
know?
mean, there is certain people who are known for like certain weapons. Like
Maybe he's not
that's
very good with the G36.
me
That's okay.
with me with the Titan Killer, for example.
What, you know good with the Titan Killer?
No, I am good. No, hold on a minute. No, Titan Killer is my child. It's my prodigy.
Ella's shotgun, for anyone that is unfamiliar with
Yeah.
the demos. Titan
We'll
Killer.
break you in. We'll break you into the Titan Killer. Don't worry. That Melusi charge. Not the biggest fan of that one. Very, very easy for the defenders to get rid of that with, or the attackers to get rid of that, should I say, with very little risk to themselves. Would be nice, so obviously if Wamai was up, that could have been pretty sneaky to have some discs flying about to kind of bait in some utility, but obviously Wamai being banned down Oregon is a bit of a go-to for a lot of teams, how strong he can be to sneak in. A lot of those discs, really anywhere. Like, that's the thing that kind of separates Jaeger from Wamai, is Jaeger can only place his stuff in, you know, set positions. Wamai can throw it anywhere. Anywhere he wants. Can place it on the ceiling. Jaeger can't reach the ceiling, he's too small. He can't do that.
Jaeger is short. I kind of like that,
But
Melusi,
Doki is
because if you look
shorter.
at how many shields we've got, there's 4 shields here on the defense. That's a lot of shields to wade through if you're going to start getting Ash charges eaten up, for example, because now you're going to look toward getting nade charges eaten up. And we can see Notorious there having to toss one through to destroy the Vulcan shield. It's not going to deal Mello any damage, but now he no longer has anything to peek from. Iana drone going to go through, and that's going to get called out as Eisen's in a dangerous position here with the shotgun and a lot of utilities to keep him alive. Shotgun at close range like that is a surefire way to gain a kill, as Mello's able to peek onto it as well, and the crossfire was just too much to deal with. Great teamwork there on the side of Mello and Eisen, easily shutting down that push from Tarps and now allowing the rest of their defenders to relax just a little bit. But as they relax, Easy will fall.
Ziosh eliminates Mello, though, who has been the thorn in the backside of Renji this entire matchup. D-Juice, he's tucked away right beside the door frame, and that's an easy kill for MJ. Not aware, and another one for D-Juice, and another! Oh my word! Line him up, knock him down, as D-Juice says. Oh my word, that was so good. Gun skill of a machine.
Very flashy stuff there from Diju. A lot of people say the MPX is a pea shooter. To anybody that says that, I would show them that clip and just show them what it is capable of when it is in a pair of hands as capable as that of Diju.
Word to say, I have to look at it. Oh, God.
I think that you could say, Demo, that we neglected to give this game a proper opener. So do you want to hit us with it?
No.
Apparently not. Are we going to see a
Your
Nomad
job.
ban? Are we going to see a Valkyrie ban? What are we going to see here?
Nomad is obviously the obvious one. For many reasons. Stops you from going for jump outs, which, like we said, is something you have to respect. Ooh,
Questions.
Okay, right. Seen this before. I've seen a Buck ban. Not the first time I'm thinking, you know, what is this? What are they doing? Why are they banning out an operator that isn't meta? What is this? Buck has some very good uses for this specific map. The fact that you can use the skeleton key to go underneath areas and bucket is like the perfect thing for this map. The fact that there's so much verticality that you can really utilize from below is why Buck is a very, very strong operator. I understand why they would ban it out. It makes sense to me. In my head, it makes sense to me.
Thatcher Wamai clash. No major surprises there. I guess the book ban does make a little bit of sense, but then again, you got to ask yourself, Is it that crucial? Is it that important, that vertical destructibility? Or are you going to be able to achieve a lot of it with the sledge or with nades or, you know, whatever else you've got at your disposal, whether it's some sort of, you know, Zephyr or Ash charge? So real horses for courses there. Oh, Toro. Don't do that to us again, please. We saw the Cali last week and Demo was not pleased.
I was molding over here.
Molding?
Yep.
Well, give me a little bit of a thesaurus definition.
So whenever you mold, it means that you're having a freak out, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
That's like Twitch chat talk for you.
Yeah,
But you're a
did get
bit
the
of a
impression
boomer,
it was
so
a little bit zoomer.
yeah. No, it's just whenever you're molding, it's like you're going mental essentially. That's all that is. Which hopefully I won't be going mental today.
Mirror.
I hope
Diju's
not.
going mental. He's picking the mirror.
Is your stream frozen?
I think the game's just taking a moment to load in. I can see the background
Oh
moving.
yeah, I can see the
And
little
the timers are moving.
yeah on the Sophia. Toro's having some issues. It could be a rehost in the cards if Toro does crash. So Medics has to stand by.
Medics doesn't do rehost. He's a pro.
Ah, there we go. We're in.
It's a long load screen followed by a long load screen. But we are into the game good and proper now.
Okay. So I look at lineups. That is a terrifying defender loadout. Like, those are some heavy hitters on the defense. Mira is there, which has been let through because for some reason Sleepy thought, oh yeah, Clash is going to be even more troublesome to deal with, which in my opinion, I don't think that's the case. The only reason why you play Clash is if you don't have a Mira. And I think Mira is a lot better than what Clash is. The fact that you get two of them, rather than Clash, which only has the one shield, it's much more of an effectiveness. Also, one thing about Clash as well is that if you're using Clash, that's one player without a gun, essentially. Whereas if you have the mirror windows, there's a guy behind the guns.
Mirror's an exciting one as well, Demo, because we don't often get to see it.
No, which is terrifying.
I mean, often banned out for a start. Nearly
Spawn
getting
pick Mira.
spawn killed there as Diju maybe getting a little bit too brave. He's got the 1.x on the Vector now, so thinking he can go for some of those spawn peaks. But it seems as though, for the most part, the attackers are safely on the roof where they ought to be. But yeah, Mirror often banned, just so terrifying. So much control of sights without any risk to yourself. All you need is the mirror window there. You don't even need to be playing someone behind it necessarily. There's still a question of, ooh, is there somebody behind that mirror window? We better get a little bit of information or a drone onto it. So a lot of work here to do for the attackers, and it really is all going to be about that information game. I also kind of like how Sleepy have consistently either banned the mirror or the Wamai. This time they've chosen to ban out the book and then proceeded to pick onto the mirror. That just makes the mirror that little bit safer from those vertical angles as well.
So, now we start with the slow and painful process, Ollie, of watching the attackers try and get into piano. So it either works out really well for them, and we have seen teams who have been clinical with taking this area of the map, or they all push in and they die one by one by one. That also happens. Mirror window and bathroom. That is a new one for me. I've never seen that one before. That gives you cover for Mellow, essentially. Nobody can push Mellow without going through the mirror window, and if someone peeks into a mirror window, you are going to die because there will be a man behind said mirror window. Here comes the attackers into piano. Dijuzo, he has that long angle. Again, there is a lot of layers to this attack. They have easy covering Mellow, and then we have the other mirror window covering, also covering Mellow, and then also covering the other mirror window. This is like an onion. There's so many layers to it.
Like an ogre?
Yes, exactly like an ogre. They also have layers.
Well, for all the layers, it hasn't done Diju any good, as he has been taken out already. But, I say already, there is only 25 seconds left on the clock. We have seen a casualty on the attackers as well, and not a great deal of control has been gained. The Toxic Babe canister is now very powerful in these dying few seconds, but Easy has tossed his last one out. Mello now going to start coming in with some kills before getting traded on out. Shotgun at close range does the business. 3 versus 1, 3 versus none. Sleepy Gang take round number 1.
My word, this shotgun blast. Oh my god, that was great to see. Have you ever seen Kill Bill?
I have seen Kill Bill. One
Number
of
2.
Tarantino's
Number
good
2.
ones. Not sure if it's number 2 or not. Probably.
It's whenever she is at the trailer in the desert and she opens it and then gets shotgunned and just flies back. That was what went through my mind for some reason.
Fair enough. I like you remember the old Spartan kick from 300.
Yes, of course. Jared Butler.
Very, very similar situation there.
Favorite Tarantino movie?
Did you watch one of his last ones with
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Haven't got around to watching it yet.
What a great film. It's a weird film, but it's a great film.
My favorite is actually a word I can't say on stream.
Protect your bombs from being
You know what that is?
by
Just for me saying that.
Can you say one of the words?
Inglorious.
Yeah.
Yep. My favorite.
You ever watch The Hateful Eight?
No. I hear that's good.
Do yourself a favor. It's got one of the best soundtracks. It's got one of the best scores in the game. There's just this underlying...
Hey, I'm a big fan of Inglorious's soundtrack. Dun, 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 dun. Great. So good.
Give Hateful Eight a watch, because it's filmed nicely as well. It's one of that... I might even throw it on after the stream.
10 seconds
Get
left
Pulp
before
Fiction on the
insertion.
go. Who hasn't seen Pulp Fiction?
5
There's only
seconds
2 of us in
left
here,
before
Demo.
insertion.
Oh, no.
What do you mean? We have chat is here. Chat talks to us sometimes. Favorite Tarantino movie, everyone? Put it in chat. What do you think? You've heard ours? Guys, let us know what you think. So, we head now to our kitchen defense. 2 ways to attack this. You either go in through bakery, which means you also have to take above. Or you can go in from freezer side, which also means you have to take above. So either way, teams should be going above. That's the main thing to take away from this one. Ollie, how many times have we seen a sledge go in above and just rain havoc on the defenders?
Yep, you need to give yourself enough time as an attacker to be able to go in and take that upstairs control and to really start to work with it. That isn't something that we see all the time, though. Often we see attacks getting a little bit too preoccupied with this bakery control, and already we can see 4 attackers all stacking up. All 5 attackers now stacking up outside of this bakery. Mello can get away with a sliver of HP, and he's not going to be alive for much longer. His best bet now is to swing onto that door and to try and take somebody with him. His moments are numbered. Nade's going to get tossed on through, and that's going to be all she wrote. Notorious aggressively pushing on through now, and looking to pick up more. Jayash finding one in the fray. It's an early advantage here for the attackers.
Yeah, very, very strong to get 2 opening picks, and you really haven't wasted a lot of time with it as well. Still half the round to go. Now you come in, you do your utility dump, and I mean, Ollie, with half the round to go, you've got 2 kills, you've got the walls opened. This has to be a massive, massive throw from Renji if they are to lose this. And oh dear, as I say it, EIZ from above finds 2 kills for himself, and now it's open for anyone.
The throw is certainly starting easy inside of Cloakroom with the smoke. Not a lot of health to speak of. Almost giving up side control, leaving a lot of work now for Diju to do. EIZ going to find a triple on the round, and Ziosh nearly locking onto one of his teammates. Easy now joining the fray, and Ziosh, well, he's got a lot of work to do as the last man standing. 3 versus 1 now. And SLEEPYGANG have done a fantastic job here of being able to hold fast. Shots now raining on through. Still 45 seconds left and very doable here for Ziosh. We saw him have some great plays last week, but in this situation, he hasn't got a great deal to be working with. More Toxic Babe canisters coming out to block off that diffuser, and hard angles now being held by the defenders. It was only ever going to be a matter of time as EIZ steps up to the plate.
EIZ is phenomenal. What he has done is the stuff that you want from like every player you ever play with is whenever things are going really bad, this guy just steps up and just makes a bad situation good. And that's exactly what he's done. I don't really know how he got the 2 kills because we missed it, but we did see him above. What I assume is that he got the 2 people who were lurking in towards red. That's what I think. That's who I think he's killed. And then he's ran back down gold. So credit, a late roam game works really well for them. But one thing that I question now, Ollie, is how has there been a late rotate whenever a Nomad is still alive?
Unforgivable demo. A late rotate or even a rotate to begin with. I think the problem with that situation was that Zeosh never really got himself established into the map. He never got himself upstairs into the top of those red stairs or those bar stairs areas and placing the Nomad air jabs where you need them to be. It was a very linear attack for the most part from Renji, and they did a good job to gain a couple of kills, but it really didn't get going past that point. I think had we seen Zeosh have a little bit more map control and a bit more room to work with, we would have seen some air jabs getting placed in decent locations to really start to deny. I think the only air jab that we saw going off was potentially onto the smoke of Easy, and even then it was very impactless.
5 seconds to go.
Pulse makes an
Attackers are
appearance.
moving out to locate
One
a
of
bomb
my
and defuse it.
personal favorite operators to see utilized and also play. I think Pulse, for a year one operator, still has so much value that, again, teams just don't understand the power that he holds in his hands. Whenever I see a Pulse, I always think, okay, how are you going to hide this information from the attackers? Yeah? If you can pick onto a Pulse, which is what they've done, and you hide that operator, it is going to give you so much information. As soon as you know you're playing against a Pulse, you're going to hunt for that as quick as you can. You know the value and how strong he can be if left untouched. But the power of the sixth pick now is that they don't know that the Pulse is lurking. Pulse, hopefully, if he plays his cards right, will... Right. How on earth has that happened?
I'd love to know how a nade gets tossed through main skylight and connects first time onto poor old Easy. I think even he thought, oh, there'll be an ADS that'll grab that at some point along its merry journey. But no, Easy will fall, albeit he's playing in a very aggressive, pushed up situation. You know, you're on that skylight, you know, you're on that angle for the skylight. It's kill or be killed time sort of thing, but you don't really want to be going out to a nade. You kind of want a bit of a gunfight to give yourself a slight fighting chance. Toro did fall in the meantime, so it was a 1-for-1 trade, but really interesting this round. Even though the mirror's available, and even though it's something that works for Sleepy in round number 1, it's not something they've chosen to bring this round as well. I think the C4 toss there from the Pulse swung and missed for the most part onto Notorious, but he is now only 1 health.
That C4 is a 1 in a million chance to not die from it, and I think Traco is very, very fortunate that he is still alive. Granted, 1 HP will still be killed by anything. A gust of air could probably finish the job at this stage, but he's still alive and can still create some havoc with that nade in his back pocket. Mello, I don't think, has been droned. And if he does get droned, he's dead, which he has, and he should now be finished off like he does. And that was a risky position. It gives you that big risk for an even greater reward. And well, EIZ, he does eliminate Jay, so it is squared up into a 3 versus 3. Still, HP advantage is going in favor of the defenders, though, and DJus from below with a shotgun eliminates Zeosh. He tries to swing on in. Now it's a 2v3 that the Ace and Sledge have to clutch up.
The interesting point about this is there's been so much pressure for this top floor. The bomb site isn't even on the top floor. The bomb site is reading room. It is on the 2nd floor. So whilst the defenders did a really good job of keeping control upstairs, the attackers lost so much time. It's now all down to poor old Shenji. 10 seconds left, diffuser in hand, 1 versus 3, 3 seconds left. Not a great deal that he's going to be able to do. He's going to have to start hitting some shots, but no. The defenders, they won't even peek onto him, not even giving him the chance of an exit frag to pad his stats. Sleepy Gang 3-0 on Cafe.
This is not the greatest situation if you're Renji. I mean, if you're Sleepy, you're laughing now. You're 3-0 up with, honestly, I think, very clean rounds. None of these rounds I've looked at and think, wow, that was close. All fairly comfortable victories for them. I mean, with still 3 rounds to go in the defense, you're feeling this, you know, just on top of the world, you're feeling ecstatic. And I think now, as I look towards the top floors where they're going to lock in next, this, in my opinion, was probably their easiest bomb site to defend. I like their setup with the mirror windows, and they're probably just going to copy it again. I don't see why they would change it up. This now comes down to how well Renji can adapt on their attacks. If we go off Oregon, then it's not looking good for them. Their adaptations on the attacks were not strong enough, and that is ultimately, in my opinion, why they lost that map. Hopefully, they can see the weak points in the defense and can exploit those. If I'm looking at this setup, straight away, Ollie, I'm thinking, you get onto the south window repel in the single window, and you just nade the guy in bathroom. That's how you deal with that guy.
Certainly one way of dealing with him, Demo, you need to get something in there to deal with Diju or whoever it is going to be that's playing inside a bathroom. It wasn't even somewhere that the attackers got to until the dying seconds of round number 1. And the real dangerous position that Sleepygang are in now is that they've shown us a clean sweep here on Cafe, and none of the rounds have been really down to the wire for them. You know, we've seen close rounds in terms of time, but they've still had good man count in those dying few seconds. So I'm not too sure that Renji are going to be able to just continue to muddle their way on through. They need to come out with something quite revolutionary here to make something happen. J-Ash looking to push up these white stairs, as we can already see a slightly different line of attack in this round. He's just waiting for the drones to work on ahead of him. Potentially maybe looking to get in with the Ash breaching rounds underneath, or just find out some information, waiting for the information, sorry, to come through at the top of those white stairs before aggressing on through. The defenders in this situation don't need to do anything too extravagant. They can just sit, hold their angles. They know that they've got really powerful positions, and they can just wait for these attackers to push on through. And almost as predicted, J-Ash going to be threatening with the launcher, maybe just waiting for a bit of a Z ping to come out, so he's got a bit more of an idea of what he is going to be working with. Toro now going to be joining him underneath, as the first kill will come through here for the attackers. Easy there, getting taken on out, and if these launchers do the business and hit the mark, it could make it very difficult for the remaining defenders inside a cocktail.
A lot of explosives going off in towards that A bomb site. Goyo shields are gone, but obviously it is an east side take that we're seeing attempted right now, so you're expecting a lot of utility being dumped in towards that area. JS though, a C4 right onto his noggin, and he's gone. EIZ also jumps onto the kill wagon and eliminates Toro, and an east side take which has just failed miserably, Ollie. They looked as if they didn't have anybody to cover Ash as they were pushing up, which is very surprising. Usually if someone is going to solo up White's there, somebody's on a window assisting him, but just was not the case. And now a 3 versus 4 is where we land, and still plenty of side control for the defenders.
Look at how quickly Sleepygang were able to change tact there and change position. As soon as they saw the launchers getting deployed onto that cocktail floor, they knew that an east side take was coming, and they were able to just turn their fire straight away. Utility or not, they were still able to make it work just from the powerful positions that they've got themselves established in, and a willingness not to overpeak or overextend. Ziosh, unfortunately, they're going to take out Renji. Notorious almost trading it right back out, but as the window repels come in, it is not going to be enough. A team kill in the dying few seconds isn't what anyone wants to see, and Sleepygang there finishing business. DG able to pick up the final kill. Round number 5, 5 flawless rounds now for, sorry, 4 flawless rounds for Sleepygang. Things are looking a bit tough, Demo. This could be a 7-1, it could be a 7-0, it could be a 7-2. I'm not seeing much more of a scoreline for Renji than that.
It's not looking good. Really isn't. Granted, I like the admiration of going for a switch up in strategies, adapting, knowing the east side is basically, if you go east side, it counters like everything that's the whole setup that the defense went for. The only thing though is, for an east side take, a very crucial component that you need is to have a butt go below and open up a lot of angles. What ban do we have from Sleepy? What is that ban, Ollie?
Defenders, protect your
Clash.
bombs from being defused by attackers.
No, the other one, no. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
The book.
The buck. That's,
I'm with you now.
That is the component that makes that entire east side work. Without it, it's lackluster as a take.
They did the best. They deployed all of their launchers at the floor, but then again, as soon as you start making your way up the stairs, what's the first thing you're greeted with? Big old deployable shield, which you would love a launcher to be able to deal with. So yeah, it's that hold from Sleepy with the mirror window is really nice, and I think that the book ban just plays into it on so many different levels, because it makes an east side take difficult, it makes dealing with the mirror windows difficult, because then you've got to start making decisions about deployable shields. It really does tick a lot of the boxes that you're going to be looking for in a defender. Sight hold there. Diju, he's getting froggy. He's getting aggressive on those windows. He's not going to find anything, but you can't fault a man for trying.
No, that's the thing about this map, is that the windows are, again, a very scary prospect to go up against. Anybody can jump out of them at any moment. Anyone can peek you from them at any moment. We are looking at a kitchen, and we have a very heavy roam game. Not a lot of, like, setup. It's not like one of those holds I think we seen last week where in Cafe there was, like, a castle who castled off a lot of the areas in towards train and would play up there along with, like, a mozzie. This is just, I think, very loose. Just nice and easy, nice and simple. They've got a triple room setup right now. Whenever I see a triple room setup, I always worry that the team could just get rushed. And whenever they haven't done, like, the setup, like I said, where they haven't reinforced off anything, that means that they probably don't have any holes above. He's nearly just killed his teammate.
Again, Renji, you need to stop shooting your own teammates. You're not going to have any of them left at this point. Diju going to retreat his way down white. He's got the garage to think about, but it isn't going to concern him too much. Nobody out there to worry him. Notorious now starting to make short work of the floor, but is it going to be enough to force these roamers out? Of course, if the roamers do make it back down to the side with full health or even just alive, that is a bonus, because look at how much time has been wasted. C4 now going to rip, swing, and miss, but not miss entirely. Toro did have an option to shoot that then, but seemed to get caught like a rabbit looking into the headlights and paid for it with half of his hit points.
Mellow, he's still alive and he's just sitting in a corner. He's just camping. He sees the Nomad run away. Oh, he shoots a bullet. Did they hear it? I don't think they heard it. There's too much going on. They have no idea it's here, and he picks up the kill onto the sledge. That could have went... Oh, that could have went disaster. Everything there for Mellow, but somehow pulls away with it. I have no idea how they did not hear the guy shoot right beside him, but hey, Mellow will take it nonetheless. Look how many angles are open. This floor has been destroyed. And Renji, they don't want to push Mellow. Mellow is still here causing issues for him. Finally, he's been eliminated. But 25 seconds is left. They have nothing to go off. They've got nothing left.
Diju going to start picking up kills as they rotate their way on down to his lap. Ziosh first to fall. Senji now going to start to push on through. Aizen finds one in the meantime. 2 versus 2 now as Toro is starting to put in a little bit of work, but 7 seconds left remain. Chenji now needs to go nuclear if he wants to try and pull this round, but the Malusi Banshee is going to be his demise. Not enough movement speed to be able to peek effectively, and Sleepy Gang doing the Sleepy Gang thing and not peeking unless absolutely necessary. Fantastic job there in round number 5. Sleepy continue their flawless streak. Are they going to take us all the way, Demo?
Call me an egg, because my head's scrambled. I have no idea what I've witnessed. Like, Mellow just sat in a corner. Nobody droned him. Again, this is what happened in Oregon. Nobody droned him. And he just sat there and got kills. Exact same thing has happened. Sits in a corner. Nobody sees that he's there. Nomad runs across the doorway about 20 times. Doesn't shoot him. Then decides to fire one single shot. Sledge is quite literally 2 meters, obviously a safe distance away in this current climate, and then doesn't hear him. And then out of nowhere, Mellow thinks, oh, that's an easy kill. Bang! What does he do after gets the kill on the Sledge? He sits in another corner, and he waits, and he wastes even more time. And by the time he finally gets killed, oh look, 20 seconds to go, and they're still upstairs.
Yeah, questionable plays. I think there could be a lot to be said.
Questionable from both sides, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Mellow is, he is like, that's, granted, Granted, I like the playstyle because
Say
it's
it,
the
say it, Demo, say it. Tell me what you think.
Listen, it's the playstyle that I go for. That's the playstyle I have. It's you do stupid things and it works, and that's what I do, and it works for him. So I have to respect the guy.
Oh, I thought you were going to call it a rap
5
play.
seconds to insertion.
It is. That's what it is. That's what I am.
Attackers.
Well, let's see what he can do this time. Going all out aggression here. The outside Valkyrie camera that's likely going to get found pretty early on, but it will give him a bit of information to peek off and could result in an early kill. Instead, just going to choose to gather the information off it for now. No, he's going to go all the way. He's gone all the way, got himself exposed, few shots, nothing landed. But look at all the information that we have got on side of Sleepy. It's enough information to get a kill, but it's not enough information to stay alive. A trade coming through, and Toro once again doing business through the windows. What is it about this man, Zofia, and windows on attack? Always threading the eye of a needle and finding those early kills. That's put his team in a really nice situation here. Sure, they've lost J-Ash, but they have a man advantage.
Minute gone, and the attackers are set up quite nicely. But we have to remember what team this is, Ollie. This is Renji. This is the team that also had a very good setup on their kitchen attack, and it all fell down for them. So let's see if they can hold it together for this round and give them at least something to go off. A 6-0 is not what you want in the slightest, because that means you have no mistakes. If you have a 5-1, it gives you a very loose safety net, but still a safety net nonetheless. Ooh. Got trades coming back and forth, and it's the attackers who still have the advantage. They have a sledge up. This should be enough for them. I mean, if they have the sledge, they can open up these vertical holes. It makes their job a lot easier whenever they're trying to aggro onto the bomb sites. Easy is still alive, however. He is going to be the man to cause any issues. He has to be the man to cause issues, because right now, for the defense, they don't have a lot of men. DJus is obviously going to be in sight just in case anything happens, but actually Easy, he instead decides to fall back on the site, probably hearing the call that one of them is looking to push in towards Train.
Sleepygang lost a lot of information in those first two deaths, the Valkyrie and the Pulse, and you can see just how much it's hurting them now as we enter the late round. Left holding onto angles, desperately trying to use sound as their aid, but still not much of a clue as to where any sort of a push is going to be coming from. Nade's going to be raining down onto Diju as Easy. He's trying to watch about 3 things at once, pre-firing as he goes, keeping an eye onto that fireplace. Diju looking to make use of these angles that has been opened up in the early part of the round, as it seems as though Sleepy know that a large part of the push is going to be coming through the fireplace. Diffuser now going to start to go down as Toro provides that shoulder cover. There is a C4 in the hands of Diju. Is it going to be enough? C4 swings, but it does not hit. Kill's now going to start flying through as the diffuser has been confirmed. We are now post-plant, and Easy's going to pick up the first one, making things a little bit easier, but still a large way to go here for Sleepy. As there's 30 seconds left and 2 kills to find. You can bet that this post plant is being held by Renji in the safest possible manner. They need this round. Attempting to shotgun open the wall and maybe get a long arm onto the diffuser. DG looking to push his way on through aggressively. Shenji now with the cover from the hatch above, and Toro inside of the train. Easy kill there for Diju as he swings on round. It's now all down to Shenji. Not a lot of time left. The diffuser is going down. Easy comes in with a huge kill up through the hatch there. Diju is already on that diffuse, and that's an easy round there for Sleepygang, making it look oh so simple, but believe me, it is not.
Oh, how? Man, I really don't know how you lose that. There's a guy above on the hatch who has all control on anyone trying to push Sophia, but he just leaves Sophia out to dry. I don't know. I really don't know. But one thing I do know is that we've just had a 6-0 sweep on defense.
You know what I know, Demo?
What do you know?
That you've got to win those.
Ah, seen that before.
I think it's a famous quote. I can't remember who
I
said
mean,
it.
it's iconic. That's for definite. I mean, I mean, what other iconic quotes are there in Siege that you can remember? So obviously you got to win those. I think 4444 is like an iconic one as well.
I mean, is that a quote?
I mean, it's not really a quote, but I mean, it's...
Has anyone been quoted saying 44444?
I think many people have said 4444. So, oh, we've got obviously the Canadian. Your Twitch, Geo. We've got that one.
That
Classic.
clip was doing the rounds on Twitter the other day, and I watched it again, and it is as good as you remember.
Yep. What else? Anything else?
Attackers have located a bomb.
Honestly, all I can think of is the...
Oh. Oh. Anyone who has came up against Fords has played. There's another one.
10 seconds left.
If you get my gist.
That joke.
Fabian, Golden Boy.
5 seconds to go.
No, all I can think of is like Doki hitting his keyboard to the sound of the EastEnders theme tune and stuff.
It's a good one.
The salty memes are what come to mind.
Not my memes. No, my just chopped liver.
I don't... we've had this conversation, Demo. I
know
don't watch
what?
comic books.
You've said enough. Yeah. All I need to know.
I'm not into Marvel,
Joke.
so I don't understand your memes.
Oh look, Vitality and Supremacy Charms. Obviously, because both of these sides are full French. If you did not know, well, they are. We've got a full Frenchman lobby. EIZ, he's on the Nomad. I like this position that Nomad takes. I think it's a very strong one, is that you can Nomad off essentially all of the windows that you can get jumped out of, and then just play that single one beside the piano. And it makes the job of clearing that piano very easy. That window not only gives you a way in, you can rappel through it, but you can also challenge a lot of the long angles that even the mirror windows can play as well. Like, you can hold them down pretty stiff. Like, look at this. Look at the angles he's finding right now from that window.
It's nice to see that Renji are picking up this mirrors, even though they weren't the ones to keep it in, as it were. Zeosh finds a nice opener. Easy gonna fall. Hard breacher down. It's a lot of utility lost on the side of Sleepy. There's an argument and a question as to how much you need hard breach when attacking onto this site, and sure, it does make things a lot easier, but it isn't necessary, especially when there are that many lines of sight and that many angles already opened up for you to take advantage of as an attacker. There are sometimes ways and means that you can make things work. Diju looking now not to aggress too heavily, but still to keep an eye on Cocktail. But again, doesn't seem to be working off all too much information. Mello has in fact got a drone in position. Nade's going to get cooked and no doubt do some damage or maybe even take Shenji's life here, as Aizen just waiting for the right time to strike, making sure that nothing is in there. Nade comes through, sorry, flashbang comes through. Nade follows, but doesn't actually do too much damage at all. I think it maybe detonated a little bit early. EIZ going to be left to push on through aggressively, and aggressively he will.
What a crazy guy. Challenging a shotgun nonetheless also. J-Ash, look at him. He knows he's in there behind the mirror window and potentially looking for a C4. There's Mello gone as Traco has eliminated one, and he's been able just to walk into the bomb site. Found Traco and now has to go up against this very potent mirror window. I think they kind of go to in the classic one and how strong it can be. Oh, does not have the reaction to eliminate Toro. EIZ is gone, and finally Renji. It's not the full 7-0. That's a start. It's going to be a very, very long start for them, but hey, it's something.
Honestly, where was Renji on attack? Because this doesn't look like the same team that played Sleepy on Oregon less than an hour ago. You can see their Sleepy Gang, they're making the decisions and they're making the plays that a team makes when they have 6 rounds in hand. They're rushing shotguns at close range. This isn't a must-win round for them. They've got multiple chances to convert this into a match win. They don't need to be sweating over the first round all too much. They've got loads of opportunity. Renji did a good job of capitalizing on that round, though, and taking advantage, should I say, of some of those mishaps and misplays. But just how many times can they really start pulling this out? It really is a ticking time bomb. It can only be a matter of time before Sleepy convert this. They only need to get lucky once. Renji, they need to get lucky another 5 times.
Oh,
Attackers need to
this
locate
is
and
going to be
defuse
one
the
for
bomb.
the history books if we see the pullback to OT. But I really doubt it, Ollie.
No.
I just think the way that Sleepy have played, they have been able just to check everything on the checkbook. You know, this. Everything's in the golden books for them. Renji, just the adaptation, and I mean, am I just making this factor up, or the choke factor? Is that something I can say? Have I made that up? That sounds like a quality that you shouldn't have, but some teams do fall subject to it.
5 seconds to insertion.
The choke factor quality.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse.
It's not top on my list. It's not what I look for in a side.
But, I mean, 2 big rounds that were tossed away by the attackers. We can't overlook that.
And Sleepy have made fewer mistakes in this game, in this match, than they did over on in Oregon. And that's really come through to show. And I think Renji they've fallen foul of a couple of mistakes and stuff, but they've really not played as well as we saw them attack over on side of Oregon. Looks as though the attackers are going for the kitchen sink approach to Bakery, as a pocket reinforcement is going to get deployed and is going to allow the Bakery over to the attackers, but at the cost
Attackers have located a
of a
bomb.
couple of grenades and forcing out the Jaeger. I'd like to see EIZ get himself established and get some meaningful air jabs placed. Malusi there, right at Eisen's feet, but still causing him a few problems. The wall has been opened. As now I guess we're waiting for some drone work to work its way on through and just ensure that that top floor is clear and allow the rest of the attackers to gain that control of train and mining. And then they can start to put that sledgehammer to work. Then they can really start to pressure the defenders in sight.
It's got good form right now for the attacks. This is looking good for them. One thing that I like is that they knew that there's going to be like a hefty amount of utility. You know, obviously everyone sets up ADSs, shields, whatever it is, in towards the Bakery area. Then they'll usually fall back and reinforce off the wall, which is what happened. But I think the fact that Sleepy, they brought their utility dump operators over, you know, Ash was there, Sledge was there, and then they start rotating over towards the top floor. I mean, it's worked well for them. Granted, Zeosh, though, he has been the wrench in the works, and now everyone is just falling right now for Sleepy. It's a 3 versus 2 in favor of Renji, and now a 2 versus 2, however, though. Both of them more or less together, one in Bakery, one in towards Prep, and the 2 remaining defenders also both on the bomb site. Looking at Mute, though, a little bit more aggro, and actually looking for the flank potentially through Small. That could be an option. Is there a Nomad? I don't think so. I don't hear one. That's worrying.
Easy's quite vulnerable in that position, to be honest. It's not been the prettiest round, really, from either side. I think Zeosh has dragged his team back in it, but can they do it in this final 20 or so seconds? Eisen's got himself all the way inside. What a kill there with the SMG as he takes off Zeosh's head. And the diffuser almost certainly going to start getting planted. Shenji now seeing some pressure as well. They know exactly where he's going to be coming from. Pre-fire shots coming out through the wall. The diffuser will be confirmed. Shenji left with no choice but to push on through, but it's not going to be enough. Easy gets the diffuser down, and he gets the final kill. Sleepy Gang with a 7-1 here on Cafe.
So dominant. This is their map, and my god. What a kill. That is probably one of the best kills I have seen in the past year. Aizen, phenomenal from him. And that, honestly, that was like one of those round deciding kills.